Hi everyone, welcome to End of the World Weekly. Let me tell you how this show works. I'm Newsbot 29000. I'm a robot from the post-apocalyptic future. I've been programmed to send these broadcasts into the past in hopes that you Earth humans can avoid all the calamities that led to the end of the world. Okay, got it? Good. So let me tell you about some of your current events and how they spiral out of control and bring about the apocalypse. Last week, Trump finally admitted that Russia had meddled in the election because he wanted to shift blame to Obama for not doing anything to stop them. Putin was staying mum on the subject because he thought he'd be able to blackmail Trump before 2020, threatening to keep him from being reelected. But the Russians had to change their strategy after learning Trump hated being president. They started to threaten to help Trump win again if he didn't start playing ball. 3 people were treated for the plague in New Mexico this month. That's the same number of people diagnosed in all of 2016. These 3 got treatment and made a full recovery, but due to soaring health costs after Obamacare was repealed, future victims weren't so lucky. Without being able to afford medical assistance, the next wave of unwitting sufferers spread the disease far and wide, almost taking out the same kinds of numbers the plague originally did during the Black Death. But hey, at least the germs only targeted poor people, right? In an effort to get people to stop eating delicious cows and curb CO2 emissions, Mother Nature started spreading a tick around this summer that made humans allergic to meat. But Mother Nature underestimated just how far Americans would go to protect their burgers and steaks. Scientists engineered a new pesticide that killed the ticks but turned every blade of grass into a murderous psychopath. Farmers hoped the cows would simply eat all the immobile assassins, but there was just too many of them, turning many summer picnics into violent bloodbaths. And that brings us to our Alternative Facts of the Week segment. Let's get started! Alternative fact number 1. Wednesday morning, an Arkansas man was arrested for destroying a monument of the 10 Commandments that was erected on the state's Capitol grounds only a day earlier. A serial adulterer complained about the destruction on Twitter because he thought he was the only one from Arkansas allowed to break the commandments. Alternative fact number 2. A 25-year-old Florida mother was arrested Tuesday for sleeping with a 14-year-old boy who fathered the child when he was only 11. Officials said that the child was placed in the care of a responsible adult, but it being Florida, that meant it was this guy. Poor kid, never stood a chance. Alternative fact number 3. The U.S. successfully tested a laser weapon mounted on an Apache helicopter this week. Although the test was successful, the weapon was highly criticized for not making pew-pew sounds. Alternative fact number 4. Terminal 4 at New York City's JFK had to be evacuated after a fire in the food court Thursday afternoon. The fire started after kitchen workers fell asleep with General Tso's on a burner. Alternative fact number 5. Walgreens decided not to buy Rite Aid pharmacies on Thursday. After being denied the sweet cash that the buyout would have provided, a spokesman for Rite Aid that was itching for a fix said, "Come on, man, I just need a little to get me through the day." That does it for this week's segment of Alternative Facts of the Week. If you have any alternative facts you'd like to hear on the show, leave a comment below and we'll talk about them next time. Trump rolled back a bunch of Obama-era prison reforms this week. With the help of Attorney General Jeff Sessions, the White House was able to put together a bill that called for more for-profit prisons. In a cost-saving move, the prisons were going to be built into Trump's wall along the Mexican border and house anyone that made fun of Trump on the internet and any politicians that didn't agree with the toddler-in-chief's policies. The founder of the disastrous Fire Music Festival was arrested on Friday. Billy McFarland was charged with wire fraud for faking documents that convinced investors to give him a couple $1,000,000 to put together a music festival in the Caribbean. When concertgoers arrived at the island, they found none of the luxuries they were promised in marketing materials. Text messages retrieved by investigators revealed that McFarland knew about the horrible conditions and warned VIPs not to attend. But because McFarland was a rich white man, he only got a slap on the wrist. His business partner Ja Rule, on the other hand, who wasn't even mentioned in the complaint, still ended up in jail for over a year. Well, that does it for this episode of End of the World Weekly. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to tune in again next week, and we'll have a brand new episode. Thanks again for watching. Bye!
delicious.